Trump said today, "I have the right to do anything I want to do. I'm the President of the United States." People from the US, what are your thoughts on this? I was talking to a buddy of mine at work about this. One of the only things I remember about American government in school was checks and balances. No one branch of government could have absolute power. Regardless of how you feel on policy, or the man himself, the president currently passes executive orders seemingly on a whim, and the separation of powers seems to barely slow him down past people who should be using those powers saying, well, he shouldn't really be doing that, followed by nothing really coming of it. If the separation of powers isn't real, I don't actually know how our government works if I'm honest. The thing to understand about Trump is that he's basically a 6-year-old we made president. He wants to sit in the big boy chair and have people call him the president. Everyone, his advisors, world leaders, business execs, spend every meeting blowing smoke up his ass and telling him how great he is at everything. He doesn't know a thing about the Constitution or how our government works, and he doesn't care. Seems like about a third of us, myself included, hate his guts and want to get out of this fascistic regime, while another third cheers him on, and the other third are like, I'm not really into politics. I absolutely hate what we've become and see no way out. When he dies, they better launch his body out to sea like Osama bin Laden, because I will travel to the ends of the earth to piss on his grave. That's how I feel. Edit, I'm going to take this opportunity to call out that the Reddit app doesn't allow you to filter posts by keyword. That fucking sucks and is anti-user. I'd stop using this app altogether if I wasn't woefully addicted. Trump should be filtered from this app and this mortal coil, post haste. He's not leaving office. He's dispatching the National Guard and military on our citizens, eliminating funding for public news, firing people who don't lie about the state of the economy. He's a Putin puppet. Putin definitely has something on him, removing Medicaid for 11 million people, adding trillion to the debt while granting tax break to himself and his billionaire friends. He destroying democracy. He doesn't understand the system of checks and balances our system has to prevent exactly that from happening. Our country was started because people were pretty tired of kings acting like they can do whatever they want. He doesn't even seem to understand what America is all about, and really has no business being president over just that fact alone. He said he'd be dictator for a day. Last time he lost an election, he unleashed hell and almost got his VP killed, while police officers were assaulted on his behalf in D.C. He has cheated at everything in his life, and his first term was abysmal. His campaign for this presidency was even worse. Let's not forget the 30 minutes of music instead of answering questions. Or talk of Hannibal. If he won fairly, America needs to fix its education system and mitigate all the fake news that social media is able to propagate. There is no reason you should have elected him again, after a fucking lifetime of proof that the man is the biggest piece of shit that America has ever produced. It's absurdly scary hearing a man who was supposed to be at the head of the table of the free world say that. It also shows that he's the president and doesn't understand the basics of his own political system at the level of a 7th grader, which is also very scary, though not as frightening as the sycophants who know better and allow him to do it. In Canada, we all know well about the checks and balances the US system was designed to have. Trump's comments show a total disregard. If you ask me as a foreigner, it seems very un-American. I say that for all the good people I've met from USA. Edit, I reread the original post. I thought it said, "What do non-Americans think?" Oops, lol. He does not have that right as per our Constitution, but our elected officials have surrendered themselves to his cult, so there is nothing to stop him. All I can do is financially support other people who are fighting Trump or join a local protest or organization. He didn't build his support organically, he just hijacked 50% of American brains who were susceptible to authoritarian orders. He quite literally has hypnotized half the country into his cult. It's a self-reinforcing cult too, because these same type of people cannot handle the shame of admitting they were conned into in the first place. It's pure psychology. They cannot ever admit anything is wrong, because then the entire illusion shatters, like a Prince Rupert drop. Every lie must be gobbled down. They have convinced themselves the shit sandwiches taste like the sweetest chocolate. Anyone who has voted for him is an idiot. We're a country of too many gullible idiots, susceptible to misinformation. I live in a Democrat area/state, so I'm not really exposed to those that voted for him, but the few I know regret their choice. I've been trying to warn people about this asshole since 2015, and no one listened. As great as it is to say I told you so, I wish they hadn't re-elected him. All the Dems had to do was play footage of the January 6th crowd screaming to hang Mike Pence on a loop, but they were too fucking incompetent to stop the guy that tried to overthrow the election from getting re-elected.